Y'all, welcome to another episode of Mint Meltdown. Today we have a story about a scam called the Pig Butcher Scam. The Pig Butcher Scam is one where you start by thinking you're making a lot of money and you get more and more money and you're able to touch it and take it out and they fatten you up and then it's gone. And we have someone with us today that was impacted by this scam. She'll share her story and she'll teach us how to be safe from it. We also have a new segment that will introduce our friend, the hacker, a good guy that's going to teach us how to avoid being scammed from hackers and ways to protect ourselves. So please enjoy the show.
Like something happened and someone's scheming somebody and I'm just confused.
Welcome to another episode of Mint Meltdown. Wanzi, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I've been watching a lot of crazy things going down and I'm always dying to get back together with you and talk about all of the meltdowns, the scams, the garbage, the bullshit. And I'm super excited for today because our second guest ever, Grandma was a big hit, but today we have someone coming on our show that's going to talk to us about a scam that is mind-blowing. So we want to introduce Addie. Addie, welcome to the Mint Meltdown.
Hey.
Welcome,
Thanks
Addie. How are you doing today?
I'm good, I guess. When I get to talking about what's going on, you'll see why I say I guess.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'll tell you this one thing though. You're gonna share your story, but what you're creating as you're sharing your story is you're making a difference in somebody else's life, so they won't have to go through this I guess moment in the future. Right.
Oh,
so you're the
absolutely.
catalyst and creating a positive impact on the people around us, especially the people listening to us who will learn from you and will hopefully not make the same mistake or see the red flags as they're getting into the new space.
Because this is it's a big thing in the crypto space. And people it's not widely known until after they're, until they've lost their money. And man, I don't know. Where do you guys want me to start?
Well, here, let's intro it a little bit. I love that right now while we're talking too, you're putting milk in the baby's bottle.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Multitasking, Mom 101.
Mom 101. I love it. So before, just to intro into this, we met, or maybe I ran into Addie in a chat group where we were just talking about the scams that are out there and essentially warning others, be wary that there's a lot of people that are out there that are, or bots that have been created to steal your wallet, steal your money, steal your everything. Mm-hmm. And so Addie started saying, there's this thing called, what's it called again, Addie?
It's called a pig butchering scam.
A pig butchering scam. I said, oh my gosh, the name alone is got me interested. Would you mind coming on the show and explain to us, as Wanzi said, we're just trying to spread the word. We're just trying to educate folks so that we get the word out and they understand how dangerous this can be and how it could just take your money. So we don't know anything. So this is going to be brand new. Please tell us, what is the pig butchering scam?
So here's the thing. I'll just be totally honest. My son's dad is in prison. So, I'm out here doing this on my own, but when he went to prison, he had some money and I am the person that is in control of that money. So, I had talked to my close family friends about Strong Block and they're like, no, it only, out of all of his money, it would only take a small fraction of it to invest in this. And then you guys could start getting a return on it. And actually it'll start growing instead of just sitting there. And so I talked to him about that and he's like, yeah, let's do it. Cool. So in the meantime, I was missing a step. I was getting confused on how to set it up. And my best friend's mom, who is the person that's helped me with all this, she just was super busy at the time. Well, somewhere in between that, I don't know if you guys know, but people in prison have illegal cell phones. So somewhere he gets in contact with someone on WhatsApp. I don't know how he got in contact with them. He says someone in there is who introduced him to her. And it was liquidity mining, which a lot of us know is a real thing.
Yeah.
The problem is that I don't know enough about it to have been able to recognize immediately that this was not liquidity mining.
Okay.
Anybody that knows what liquidity mining is will not fall into this because, liquidity mining is putting an equal amount of two different coins into a wallet, basically staking them, holding them, and you get a return on it. But that's not how this was. And the thing is these people target Coinbase Wallet because specifically Coinbase Wallet does not give you any warning when you go. So they'll send you this link. For us, it was DeFiUSDTnode.com.
Okay, so hold on, just so we can help anyone else that gets this. So this happened through Coinbase Wallet?
Yes, and
Okay,
commonly does, usually does.
Okay, so you have a
coin. It can happen through any wallet, but they specifically go for Coinbase Wallet because Coinbase Wallet does not notify you that you are implementing a smart contract onto your wallet by a third party. It does not tell you that.
Okay. So when you said they contacted me, what does that look like exactly? How did they contact you?
Well, it was my son's dad that they contacted. But since I'm in a lot of these Reddit, like you can go in Reddit, these scams are all in Reddit, like they talk about them and stuff. Usually they find them dating sites, Twitter, where a lot of the crypto world lives.
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, any kind of social media. Any kind of social site. And it's going to be, they're usually going to look for men. They're going to be beautiful women, Russian, some kind of Asian, but they're beautiful. They're gorgeous women. And they're going to be sending you pictures of these elaborate food spreads and these beautiful houses and really nice cars. And they're grooming you is what they're doing. And they won't immediately talk about, hey, I got this through crypto, but they'll start to slide it in.
Oh.
Then they'll send you a link. Hey, set up a wallet here, do this, go to this link in the browser and connect your wallet. What you're doing, what is it? They say, get the voucher. So when you get this voucher, what you're actually doing is you're implementing a smart contract on your wallet. And then they're going to tell you get USDT, which is Tether, which is tied to the US dollar. I don't know. I don't think that's the right verbiage for it, but
I got a question for you.
It's a stable coin. So it stays relative to the amount of the US dollar.
Addy, hold on one second. Yeah.
When you say they send you a voucher, what is a voucher for?
Well, they say it's a voucher to start mining.
To start mining coin.
Yes. Okay. You're going to be mining Tether is what you're going to be doing.
Okay. And so Tether, exactly like you said, Tether is a cryptocurrency that is supposed to be tied directly to the US dollar. It's supposed to be a 1-for-1. There's been a lot of questions about how true that is, but that is the claim.
And and it usually is. It's like 99 cents or a 101. It's usually right there at $1. So I hit the button, join now or whatever, and a message popped up that just said, hey, you're paying a gas fee because it's on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's like, you got to pay this gas fee. Never said anything at all about a smart contract or a third party or anything like that. And so I sign it, and then it gives you these, like, a lot of them will have a ticker on there of all of these cash outs that are happening. And it'll have like which I wish I had done more research because I should have caught this. It was saying Unicoin, but the little, I don't know, the abbreviation, I guess you would call it, was UNI, which anybody in crypto knows UNI is Uniswap.
Uniswap, yeah.
And Unicoin is UNC. Unicoin is worth like 2 cents. But it had the price of Uniswap at the time. So when I looked up UNI prices, it was right, but I didn't pay attention to the fact that UNI is Uniswap, not Unicoin. There were so many things I didn't look for because he's telling me this, my homeboy introduced me to this girl, so we're good. Because I kept telling him, like, if you don't know these people, like, I don't trust it. No, I know these people. I went to high school with him, which probably none of it was true, but it's his money, whatever. He lost it. Yeah. So what we did was we put in a small amount. We put like $200 in there, and they'll let you get a return. Mm-hmm. They'll actually pay you out when you hit cash out. And they'll let you continue to put money in it and get money out of it, as long as they don't think that the total amount of money that you've put in there, that you're maxed out. If they think that you have more money to put in there, they will let you. People are scamming the scammers by doing this, making them think, I got all this more money to put in here. So then they're cashing out on them, and then they move all their money. But then they just cut the scammers off. But anyway, so we put a small amount in, we were cashing out, and I'm like, it's working.
Can you explain that? I'm sorry, specifically, what does that look like? So you put the $200 in, and are you seeing your $200 turn into a bigger number? Is that what you're saying? Is it like staking where you can't touch the base number, or?
No, it's not. So your tether stays in your wallet the whole time. And it just, what they say is it somehow detects how much tether's in there, and that's what it's doing. It's like, I mean, I guess it is like, they're saying it's like staking, but you can touch your tether the whole time. You're not actually putting it into anything to where it's not touchable.
Okay.
So, and me knowing what I know now, red flags, but me knowing what I did then, not that weird.
You were seeing this account gaining money that you could pull the money out as much as you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the highest amount you saw?
Totally based off of what was in the wallet.
Addie, what was the highest amount you had in your wallet?
What was the highest amount we had?
Yeah, as a return.
I cashed out a $600 return one time.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, but I left it there because why wouldn't I? They're giving it to me.
Right.
So, basically we do this for like a week and a half, and it's crazy because he was just about to tell me to put like 10,000 more in there than what was in there.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell her that.
Yeah.
And so I guess they thought that we were maxed out, and I was at work, went outside to check what was going on, and it's gone. The wallet has zero in it.
And this whole scam took place
this was
within a week.
$8,600, and with the gas fee, it was $8,700 total gone out of the wallet.
And that was your own investment?
Well, yeah, it was my son's dad's money, but yeah. And I started looking around on Reddit and found it's ETH_liquidity_scam is the subreddit. Really good information on scams. And I for you guys, I would definitely check it out and see the different things. But it's mostly based on what I'm talking about right now. And I'll be honest with you, $8,700 is a tiny loss compared to what some of these people have lost. If you Google it, one guy in Denver lost 1.6 million.
Oh man. Hey, but let's say this too. I don't know that that's a tiny lot. $8,600 can be
big.
That could be somebody's whole thing.
Rent payments.
Right, for sure.
Oh, it's a significant amount of money, but people lose so much more because they get so confident in money they're getting back that they just go all in.
So just so I'm understanding. So, and for everyone listening, just to review the pig butcher scam, because I still want to know where the name came from, but what it sounds like is, especially in Coinbase wallet, you're contacted outside of there by someone that says, I have this amazing deal for you. You go into Coinbase wallet and you accept It doesn't look like you're accepting any kind of contract. You're paying gas to be a part of this deal. And then what that does, though, is that gives them access to your wallet and sets up some kind of unlimited transaction where they can pull out of your wallet as much as they want. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the unlimited I'm sorry, go ahead. The unlimited transaction is called allowance. So you're giving an allowance to a certain address.
Yes.
And then everything else is a facade. It's just a facade to get you to put more money on your wallet so that they have access to more of your money. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I get that now. So that game with you can pull and you can stake and all that, that's just a game to get you to put more money on your wallet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Especially when they say like it'll pop up and say, hey, all your money has gone into this pledge, and during the pledge you'll be earning twice the rewards, and anything else you put into the wallet will also earn twice the rewards, encouraging you still to put more money in if you're going to.
Wow.
So, and it still shows, I've got 475 coins or something right now, but I'll never see any of that money.
So do you know why it's called the pig butcher scam?
From my understanding, the pig, the big fat pig, the one with all the money, and then they kill him.
Oh, oh wow.
So that was my understanding. I got, but that's what it is, the big fat pig with all the money, and then they butcher him.
We are sponsored today by Wicked Games and their first project, More Poo. It is an NFT project in spring of 22. I believe they're looking to mint in March. Full disclosure, I am a part of this project, so I do have an interest in this, which is why we got them to be a sponsor. So about a little bit about More Poo. They are a project that first of their kind that is using NFTs to bring card games, real life card games into the market. So with each mint, you also get a real life card game sent to your home. I'm really excited as a family card game player. The card game is kind of silly. It's a game where you are stacking different little poo emojis and trying to beat the rest of your family. So it's a really, really cool project. I'm super excited about it. And I'm excited that they're sponsoring our new show. Wanzi, you guys play any card games over at the Wanzi house?
All of them. My favorite one is Monopoly Deal. Ever played Monopoly Deal?
I've never played Monopoly Deal.
Oh boy, you have to play Monopoly Deal. It's my favorite. It's not like Monopoly. It's quick. It takes 20, maybe 15 minutes a game. So it's fun, and you beat the poo out of everybody else there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, special thanks to our friends at Wicked Games. That is wickedgames.io. And that link will take you to the More Poo project, to the Discord, all that stuff. They're minting in March, so there's time to get in and learn about them.
One more thing,
They
Addie,
reel him in and then they butcher him.
Addie, you started by depositing first $200. You received some money, then you deposited more because you felt, okay, I made some money, so if I risk more, I'll make more. And then you deposited all the way up to $8,700.
Yes.
And once you got there, you came in one day and it was all gone.
Mm-hmm. It was at zero.
And you received a notification saying that you're part of a pledge.
Well, I went to the website, like, what's going on in the browser, in the wallet browser, and that's when I saw you received Lucky User of the Week. And it's funny because they have a support. And you go to the support and it's always the same support person. They have the same number. It says like UNI 31 is who my support person, but it's always UNI 31. It's never anything else. It's always the same person. And I thought it was really interesting when I was telling him, the girl's name was Kim that he was supposed to be talking to. Ask Kim what's going on. Well, as soon as, they weren't answering me, and I can't get Kim to answer me. But then as soon as Kim answered her, all of a sudden they were answering me on support again. It's the same people.
Yeah.
She's the person running all this. And she's telling him, I can see you really got some money in there. If you can get it up to 10,000, then you'll be making, you'll be earning 2%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's why we got to 8,700. We were on our way to put in 10,000.
Right.
But he just hadn't told her that. So I think because 8,700 had been in there for so long, for almost a week, she thought we weren't going to put anything else in there. So she went ahead and yanked it. Or he, I mean, who knows? Because I'm like,
right.
Get her to answer the phone and talk to this person. Won't answer the phone, won't answer a video call, but will answer in messages.
So the entire scam took about a week to execute on your end?
Yeah, and sometimes it takes that long. Sometimes it takes longer because they sit there and they wait you out.
Mhm.
They wait you out to see, and they're super nice. They're going to talk to you every day on Twitter, Instagram, POF, Tinder, wherever you are. They're going to talk to you every day. Eventually, they're going to get you to WhatsApp. That's what's going to happen. Eventually, they're going to get you into WhatsApp. And yeah, like I just wouldn't recommend talking to anybody in crypto and WhatsApp.
And I know you said 1 week seems like a long time. In the NFT space, it is a long time. In the real world, $8,700 in a week to be gone, it's dreadful and it's very quick.
Yeah.
But they'll wait. They'll wait a month or 2 months, especially if they know that this is like the guy with 1.6 million. That didn't happen in a week. He didn't put 1.6 million in a week, but he was letting them know too much. He was letting them know too much that he had the ability to put that much money in there.
Right.
And so he was groomed for God knows how long. I mean, I really.
So it's a catfish that turns into a Ponzi scheme that turns into a straight up theft. So I have two questions, Addie. First of all, and maybe this is a whole nother conversation. I am really interested in the fact that your husband is in prison and is very up to date with the crypto market and what's going on with that. I am very interested in how big that is there. But more importantly, and maybe because that sounds like a big enough topic for another time, more importantly, I'm really interested in your resiliency because we met you in Discord and you're still in the game. What caused you or why are you still here? Why are you still buying NFTs and investing?
Because I know people that I actually personally know them. Like my best friends, they've been my best friends since, one was 4, I was 5, the other was 6. And they're the closest things I have to sisters. And their mom, their cousin is like a crypto guru. Like that's what he does full time. He crypto trades. He's in all of it. He's got his hands in all of it. He understands it. That is what he does. So I know that this is definitely a way to have a passive income and that there are ways for me to set up a fund for my son, generational wealth. And that's a big, big deal to me.
Okay. But so what I heard the answer though is why you're still doing it. Number one, you see a strong potential for reward that can set up not only yourself, but your family as a sustainable means of living. And you talked about generational wealth. So even beyond you to your baby and your future baby's life. But so the second part though, I think you said, which is important for all of our listeners, is you now take advice from someone you personally know and trust, right?
Yes.
And that, I think that is how do you get to know folks? It takes time. You can't just get a text message from a hot chick and link up and start making $1 million. Like that's a FOMO catfish trap that red flags should be flying. So what advice would you give to anybody listening to this that is trying? We believe our audience are those that they're already nervous and they want to learn as much as they can of what the red flags are to be aware of the kind of scams that are happening. If someone asked you, they came to you and said, what should I watch out for? What would be your tips for what to watch out for while they're out there exploring the crypto space?
The biggest thing is talking to people that you don't know. That is honestly the biggest thing because people, it's like you said, FOMO, they hear the people talk on the internet and even in the discords like, oh, I did this and this and this and I made so much money, and it's like, man, I want to do that before that's not even an option anymore. But it's going to continue to be an option. The crazy money may not be an option, but if we are just being realistic, like, this is the direction the world is headed. But the biggest thing is you can't have the fear of missing out. This is the direction that the world is going. You're not going to miss anything.
Right.
You're not going to miss anything. There is nothing to be missed. We're headed there. And if you're looking into this now, don't fear missing out. Learn, educate yourself, because if you know what liquidity mining is, you will never fall for a liquidity mining scam. If you take the time to educate yourself on what it is, you'll never fall for it, because the second they tell you you don't need anything but Tether, you're going to be like, that's not right, because that's not what liquidity mining is. Another thing, don't open links that anybody sends you. I do it accidentally sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Before I realize, like, wait a minute, that's not, I'll think it's, Discord. I'm still getting used to Discord. So I'll think that I'm in a server when in really it's a DM, and I'll click it. But as soon as it's like, oh, seed phrase. No, there's no reason that you need to give your seed phrase for anything ever, unless you are signing directly into your wallet. If you're in a browser, especially inside anything that is linked to your wallet, it's not going to need your seed phrase.
Right. That is
because
true.
It's already in your wallet.
Right. But what I think that's becoming a more well-known, to never give out your seed phrase. Everyone says that. What I think is being missed is exactly what you taught us today, is if you do connect your contract with someone, you don't have to give them your seed phrase, and they could take all your money.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
You have to be aware of connecting with smart contracts to a third party.
And not only that, but I've met some really solid people in the NFT space, but I still am not going to trust them enough to go into an investment solely with them. You
100%.
see what I'm saying? I'm not going to trust them with my money, so to say.
100%. It's not sort of say, it's a real action. Don't trust people.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because
trust them with your ideas, trust them, or have ideas, brainstorm with them, figure out what's going on, have conversations, but make sure you don't click any links anybody's sending you. Make sure you don't give people an idea of how much money you have or how much money you're willing to risk, because those are the things you don't want to let people know in case you're speaking to a scammer that's thinking, okay, this guy has about $10,000. Let's start working with about $1,000, show him that he's winning, and then later on groom him and take everything. So you have to be careful what you share with people and the links that you're clicking in this direct messages, the DMs that people are getting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We really appreciate you, Addie. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I hope it teaches others and helps others avoid this. We're sorry for your loss. Unfortunately, as Wanzi said, what brings us together is the loss. We've also both been susceptible to some scams. So we've been there. It's been really great talking with you, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Guys, we want to introduce a segment to you guys in our podcast. We're going to have a hacker come in. Our hacker will be Dexter, and Dexter will answer questions about how people get hacked, what to avoid, and let's get that started. That's the best I got.
I love it.
Sounds good, man.
Hey, Dexter, thank you so much for joining. Obviously, we are talking to someone that is keeping their identity hidden. First thing I want to say is how we know each other. So this is not someone we found on the internet. I know of Dex. I know who he is as a person. I can vouch for him being what the terminology is, white hat hacker. And hacker even may be a misnomer from the fact that it has negative connotations. Hacker, in my eyes, is someone that understands the system enough to break through the coding. Not that they use it for bad means, but they understand the system enough that they can break through the coding that is meant to work in a certain way and they can use it for other purposes. Is that a good analogy, Dexter, of what a hacker is?
Yeah, so hacking in itself is just a generic term. A lot of what I do is cybersecurity, system administration, as well as dealing with a lot of um, information technology. I've worked in this field, general information technology, for about going on 12 years now. I work for the Department of Defense as a information support specialist, as well as a cybersecurity consultant. I do a lot of my work with various agencies around the world, but usually in my civilian capacity, I work um, just information technology. Um, the thing about hacking, and it's often something that a lot of people, it's like, again, a lot of it's just misnomer. Um, the general sense of it is understanding the IT infrastructure and utilizing the major vulnerabilities within a network to. So my side, I usually do blue team, what's called blue team analysis, where I try to prevent other hackers from scammers, hackers to exploit a system to achieve a particular result. But this is why I wholly agree with what you guys are doing, because the most vulnerable, the most pro, the most proactive hacks or exploits in the world are done at the human level, right? There's no, oftentimes, as important it is to know how to code or how to create a virus or a malware to be able to infect the system, that happens less than 10% of all major activities that
Wow,
occur on
that's
the planet.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
at some point, the human has to get involved.
So that's very interesting and great to hear you say that. So education can prevent the large majority. It's not someone can just walk into your computer and just take everything from you. You have to either by naivete or some mistake you make, you have to somehow open the door for them.
Exactly. You are 100% correct.
One of the questions I have, Dexter, is why should I'm always being advised that before I connect my wallet, either MetaMask or Phantom, before I connect it to any site, that I should clear my browser before connecting. Why is that?
So browsers are often within this software suite inside your computer. Your browser is often going to be the biggest vulnerability inside of your computer when we're talking technology. Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Internet Explorer, you name it, every single browser has major vulnerabilities. But the reason they have the major vulnerabilities is the very reason why they are designed. Browsing, especially in this day and age, Google, the people behind Firefox, Microsoft, they try to make the end user's life easier by storing data on a massive level. Chrome, every time you open up Chrome or open up your browser, Google is tracking everything that you do. They're collecting every little bits and pieces of metadata.
Question for you on that. What if you open your browser on private view or private mode? I've seen that option. Are they still tracking it the same way, or is it different?
Yes, they are. So private or incognito mode or private viewing, depending on the browser type, you'll notice that every single browser will have the same setting or the same option, the private viewing. Private viewing doesn't mean that you're private or you're actually going incognito. All that means is that they are not saving your history, right? The browser is not going to, if I open up private viewing, all I'm really doing is I'm not saving inside of that browser session the websites that I'm going to. However, there is still key information that's being recorded that is collected by your user profile. Your user profile will still collect certain bits of information. That's all it is. Like private browsing in incognito isn't like a magical solution. If anything, all you're really doing is, hey, I don't want you to record what I'm doing right now, as far as the URL, but it will still collect cookies. It will still send information to Google, it will still send information. So if you're going to do some nefarious stuff, like your ISP and the Google or infrastructure is still collecting this information. So the advice that you just said to actually get to your question, why do you need to clear everything before opening up a wallet, is because you are still saving that data, regardless if you're inside the incognito mode. It's still storing metadata that we often refer to as cookies, but it could be any sort of metadata, right? If you're just logging into like the Chrome browser that you use on a daily basis, that has a ton of information about yourself.
So, if you wanted to, Dexter, would you be able to look? Like, I open my wallet and make a purchase. Would you be able to look in from your own remote location, go into my browsing and access my wallet somehow?
There's a couple of techniques that allows somebody to do that. Say, for example, that I send you, I pose as like a legitimate corporation, right, and send you a promotional ad, or you visit a website. Or every time you go to a website, right, when you go to OpenSea or you go to, you're just browsing the internet, going to Quora, right, or you type in something on the search engine and go to the first result. What you're doing is you're visiting that person's server or that corporation's server or computer, as it were. The reason that you want to be very careful is that every time you go on, you explore the internet, you are visiting somebody else's computer, which means that in order to visit that web page, you implicitly, without like clicking I accept or anything, it's going to run code as you visit the website. So right, so that's what I'm saying, is like every single bit of data, everywhere you go, every time you make a request to visit a website, you by implicitly accept whatever that website offers you. This is why it's very important for us in cybersecurity realm, when we often conduct our internet, when we conduct the open source research. I often will use Microsoft. I'll use a custom Linux kernel or Linux system and a custom browser, usually Tor. I'll usually use Tor to actually browse the internet because it gives me a degree of separation from my physical hardware and the website in which I'm going to. So in every browser, there is JavaScript. It's code that is running every single day. Every single website uses JavaScript in one form or another, and that can be executed without your knowledge, right? There's no, hey, I'm going to be running a code. It will run in the background silently.
So wait, so that means that when I go to these sites and it says, do you accept cookies, and I hit no, that doesn't mean anything. They're still
that doesn't mean anything. They're already so again, that's a lot of theater, right? When somebody says, oh, do you accept these cookies, and you say no, it doesn't matter. They've already got your information, right?
Wow.
So back to Lenny's question about refreshing your data. Is that what you said, Lenny?
Well, I've been told that if, like, before I just bid on the nudie cats, right? And it was time to go mint them. And they were telling me, here's me, I don't know any better, so I take advice. They said, open a new browser in incognito mode and make sure to clear your history before you turn on your MetaMask and connect to the website, because that'll keep you safe. And what I'm hearing from Dexter is that will not keep you safe.
If you're talking as something as important as setting up, like connecting your wallet, like if you're trying to go true paranoid mode, or where I'd say a heightened level of operational security, conducting, that's a good start, right? I'm not saying that that's a bad technique. That is better than nothing. But there's still a few key aspects that you're missing. For example, again, I'm not familiar with every single website. If they require JavaScript to do anything, you still might want to turn that off. Again, browsers that I typically like to use are I like to use Tor to automatically turn that off by default. Now, again, turning off JavaScript might break certain websites. So you have to make your own. You have to assess the risk at your personal level. Personally, if I was going to connect something like a wallet, I would utilize something like Tor, turn off, set it to its highest security setting, ensure that JavaScript is turned off by default, and then attempted to make my connection, right? That way I fully ensure that there is nothing in that session or that environment that can be potentially exploitative.
So are you saying that there could be a third party in that environment at the moment you connect to, let's say, OpenSea, that can exploit your wallet?
Yes. Well, yes. To back up a little bit, there can be, right? I always preface this that there can be. Now, if you're clearing a new session, opening up privacy mode, right? You've done a good enough. You've set up enough operational security for yourself to prevent the majority of the types of downloads or information exploits. But it depends on your personal risk. I think that's a good start to fully answer your question. That is always a good start. If you're going to go to a website, always check the URL bar, and you'll find a little lock icon next to the URL. So if you pull up Google, like if you type in www.google.com, you'll notice that there is a lock to the left of the URL. Always make sure that that is enabled. And an app that I usually also encourage a lot of people to install on their browsers, whichever browser that they utilize. So whether it be Brave, Firefox, or Chrome, HTTPS everywhere. That is one application that I could definitely recommend that everybody should have enabled by default. That will force every connection to a website to be encrypted, but it will at least prevent a man-in-the-middle attack. Man-in-the-middle attack is somebody who's listening to your connection. So if I have a Wi-Fi scanner and I'm sitting in the same, if I'm even in the same apartment complex, or if I'm in the same vicinity, and I can leverage your Wi-Fi access, I can listen to traffic if it's not encrypted. So making sure that everything is that you have HTTPS everywhere is enabled, or if you don't have it enabled, that you ensure that whatever website you go to, you always type in HTTPS : then the URL. That will also force the HTTPS connection.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I need to cut this off. And this is I have like a list here of so many more questions. Dexter, I'm going to send them to you for, we'll try to get back with you as soon as we can, because this is already plenty to add to our first segment. But man, if I didn't have to go to this thing, I want to go to this thing. It's a meetup. It's a NFT meetup, but,
and I apologize. As you probably know, I talk a lot by default. So
no.
Feel free
I
to
thought it was
interrupt
Lenny
me.
that talked a lot by default.
It's
No,
true.
no.
It's true.
No, you're a wealth of information, dude. It's insane.
Right.
Like what you're giving us, and what I'm trying to figure out with Lenny is, how do we put this in the concept that people will benefit from? You know?
Yeah, right. Specific questions, which you already answered the one. You gave a good answer. Like, it's great. It's great.
It fits perfectly because of the emotional aspect of our last guest talking about how she wants to create financial wealth and she saw an opportunity and it got exploited. Right. And it goes right back to Dexter going, the biggest weakness is human nature. And sometimes just believing you're following a dream, and at the whole time you're being groomed and exploited.
And if you want to use another additional comments to that, this happens to everybody. Like the biggest, even major tech corporations fall prey to just simple psychological tactics and simple exploits. Like, it's funny to think that Fortune 500 companies are also easily susceptible to the simplest of tactics. Trust, right? It's unfortunate, and this is why what you guys are, I truly believe what you guys are doing, because the biggest cure or the biggest prevention from being exploited is to know when it's about to occur, or to just understand what the danger signs are before you accidentally fall prey to it. And this is something I always, again, even with my many years, I constantly have to fight and stop myself from taking on something or to accept something at face value, because I'm human. We're all human, and we all fall prey to the same vulnerability, which is trusting your
Yeah.
fellow man.
Yep.
You just sometimes you just can't on the internet. You can't trust anybody.
Right. And we're gonna do a show where we talk through what happened to me because you were there. I don't know if I told you, Wanzi, but Dexter's who I called. I'm like, hey man, I don't know if I just screwed up, and can we fix it? And he's like, and we could talk through that because I want to save that. All right, I gotta go.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dexter, for coming on and doing this. We really, really, really appreciate it. I think it's going to help our show gain credibility and really help define where our niche is. So we really appreciate you.